Alright guys, so we have a new Fortnite update tomorrow, and it includes a bunch of new features within this video. I want to go through what they're changing in the game, what they're adding, and pretty much the main sort of changes in the patch notes for this update coming tomorrow. I also want to quickly touch upon the release times for this update and all that cool stuff. So that being said, if you can leave a like, that'd be greatly appreciated. Yesterday, I made a video comparing the Season 7 and Season 6 Tier 100 skins, which skin is better. Definitely be sure to check out that video and vote in the comment section below to be featured in the next video as to, you know, what skin is the better skin, Tier 100, Season 6, or Season 7. It's the Dire or the Ice King. So check that out. And that being said, let's get started. So tweet up on screen, keep sharp. The 7.01 update releases Tuesday, December 11th at 5 a.m. Eastern time, which is again tomorrow. Usually there's, you know, obviously there's no downtime really. I think this update is just gonna come at that time. You'll download it pretty quickly depending on your internet, and then there you go. It's available to play. Obviously tomorrow there is a huge sort of change to it, and we're gonna talk about what this change is. Here's the tweet coming soon: a weapon fit for a king, and that's obviously the sword. The sword was leaked, and I'm pretty sure just 2 days later it was officially announced, and it's obviously coming tomorrow. So it's pretty soon. Sometimes these things are leaked and they come out, you know, a couple months later, but this sword, it was talked about, the audio was in the files, it was leaked, and we were just like, okay, you know, it's gonna come soon. We don't really know what this is gonna be, but it's coming tomorrow. So we're gonna see tomorrow what the deal is with this sword. Let me play the quick teaser video up on screen for you guys, and then we'll talk about this sword. So here you go. So again, there's a couple of different possibilities for this sword here. One, that is just an item that you pick up, that you find in the game, and you use it normally like you would as a sword within pretty much any other game. The only thing is it gonna be overpowered or underpowered? Usually these types of things aren't just a normal, usually when a DLC, it's not a DLC weapon, but a new sort of weapon is added to the game, it's usually either underpowered or overpowered. So the thing with the sword is, if it's just in the normal battle royale game mode, if it's underpowered, that means that you're pretty much always gonna have to be super close to your enemy to actually destroy the enemy. But if that's the case, maybe it's super powerful where you have 2 to 3 slashes of your sword and then you can just destroy the enemy depending on how close you are, because really, again, a sword, you have to be close to use it. Overpowered, again, it would be the case where it would only take like 1 or 2 hits right next to your enemy, and it would almost deflect all the bullets. So pretty much if you're right next to someone and you get one or 2 hits on him, then he's immediately dead. So that would be sort of the overpowered version of that. And you know, I think the best case scenario, which is also a possibility, is that the sword is not in the battle royale game mode, because like I said, again, I feel like it is a bit hard to bring the sword into the normal battle royale format, especially with all of the weapons and the bullets in the game. I feel like at this point, you know, any AR, SMG, sniper, or even shotgun will simply outclass the sword at almost any range, except again if you're just right next to the player. So the best case scenario is for this to be in a limited time game mode where the main focus is that, you know, maybe certain players have a sword and there's a couple different swords around the map, but in this case the sword is super overpowered. It has a huge range, and it just like swipes through enemies, almost like the Thanos game mode where you just were this huge crazy guy and you had a ton of power and all this insane stuff. Pretty much like that. I don't know if it's gonna work exactly like that game mode, and again, it could be slightly different, but as I you know, think it's probably gonna be a couple different swords. I don't think it's just gonna be one sword, because the sword can't be that overpowered. Like as you saw in the teaser, it's a cool looking sword. It's a giant sword. It's pretty sick, but it's nothing, you know, abnormally large. Like it's just a normal size to large sword. It's nothing just insanely huge where it's going to have tons of range. Like it's just going to be a normal sword. So you're probably going to have a ton of health, so you can actually run at players and sort of swipe the sword and hit people with it, with the sword. And I don't know how much health you'll have, but again, people will be shooting at you, and the game needs to give you a chance to actually get to these players and actually try to attack them with the sword. So hopefully, you know, you are sort of overpowered in that sense. But if that's the case, you would have to be, again, in a limited time mode for that to make sense. Adding that to the normal Battle Royale game mode just wouldn't seem to work out that well. So I want to go through here now a bunch of the other patch notes. Now, obviously, the main things are the sword being added, and there's one with the plane, which is sort of a big, it's not the craziest thing ever, but pretty much you will take damage if you're in a plane when it is destroyed. So when the plane is destroyed, players will actually take damage. Right now, you can pretty much just like suicide bomb and nothing's gonna happen, which again doesn't seem like the most fair thing in the game. So if you're actually gonna take damage from the plane and you're gonna, you know, slam the plane into a mountain, or something is gonna happen to the plane where it destroys, you're gonna take some damage as well, which again makes sense. So that's going to be happening as well. I'm not so sure if that's actually happening tomorrow or in a later update, but that's happening very soon. But I thought I'd add this in because it's just news that was, you know, going on right now. They're also going to be adding a new HUD element that will be added that shows how much health a vehicle has before it gets destroyed. So it's obviously another pretty cool thing there that helps people out with understanding, you know, if their vehicles are, you know, losing health. If it gets destroyed, then obviously you need to know to get out, or if it's, you know, on the verge of being destroyed, you need to know to get out of that, because you're gonna lose damage as well, you're gonna lose health as well, and that's not gonna be good, obviously, for your player. So obviously, you know, that's obviously a good thing to pretty much warn players as to what they need to do if their vehicle is about to explode, or whatever is gonna go on, if their plane, or I guess any vehicle for that matter, is about to be destroyed. Before we continue with the rest of the patch notes, I want to touch upon a bunch of the holiday themed things that are going to be coming to the game very soon. So first off, we have a candy cane themed wrap. Obviously, wraps have just been added to the game. You can wrap your vehicles and weapons in different sort of skins. They're pretty much skins, they're weapon skins, but they're called wraps in Fortnite. And this is going to be one of many sort of Christmas holiday themed items that are going to be added to the game. I am expecting a bunch of other Christmas skins and holiday themed skins to be added to the game. I think we're going to start off here with the candy cane themed skin. This was leaked, so I'll put it up on screen. This is like sort of the leak that was in the code, so if this means anything to you guys, this is it. And obviously there is some sort of thing up on screen here. This is not an official image, but this is what it would look like on a vehicle. And obviously candy cane wrap is pretty cool. It probably would look a bit nicer on a weapon, but it's again for the Christmas season, and it's not going to be the only thing. We're probably going to see a bunch of the old Christmas skins returning to the game, like that gingerbread guy, I forgot what his name was, and a bunch of other stuff, new Christmas themed cosmetic items in the game very soon. This is just the first one of many, and a bunch of others will probably be leaked. This is coming out tomorrow, but again, we're only at the beginning of December, so we have a ton of time to see a ton more Christmas themed items. We already have the Nog Ops and her male counterpart return to the item shop. That was a couple days ago, and we're gonna see a lot more very soon. There's also a bunch of other minor issues. Fortnite mobile players will see a camera issue resolved and a bunch of other little stuff, but I think most of the main things being added are the swords and the plane fixes and the damage fixes and a bunch of other stuff in the game that's just better, you know, sort of fine-tuning the Season 7 additions. Obviously, the new season just released, so you can't expect much in the way of new features, but obviously they're trying to keep things fresh, add some new stuff, so I think this is pretty cool for right now. So that being said, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys did enjoy. These are the new updates for the new Fortnite 7.01 patch. Obviously, you have specific patch notes, but those are just very minor issues, just like different things with the servers, and I don't usually like to read that stuff because it's just so irrelevant to us. So these are pretty much the main stuff with what's being changed and stuff you'll actually notice within the game. So